And we are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one, the only V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, CJ, the master of the flux capacitor. We're bringing you all the news, the views, and all the information that's important to you. I'm so exhausted and tired because I'm working on 2 hours of sleep today, this morning, and that's why we started late. So if you get a chance, check us out on roguemoney.net, as well as Rogue Money, the Facebook page, Rogue Money Twitter, which is at the Rogue Money, and Rogue Money Apple News, Rogue Money, every single podcasting app known to mankind. Also, check out our sponsors, myfreedomnow.us, myfreedomnow.us, whether you want to get your credit fixed, your debt, or become debt free, or you just need some cash for that new business project or investment or that dream that you have concocted in your head. Go to myfreedomnow.us and figure out how, and let these guys teach you how you can get up to $600,000 unsecured from a network of 335 lenders. That is a lot of lenders. With that, also check out our other sponsors, mygoldusb.com, mygoldusb.com. Surf the web anonymously, break free from all the deep state surveillance, have the security of 1024-bit military-grade encryption, as well as securing your Bitcoin wallet. It allows email and messaging and everything. Check them out, mygoldusb.com. And with that being said, CJ, what's going on?
Hey, V. Good morning. Good morning.
Ugh.
I'm excited. Trump, finally gets to meet Putin.
Yeah. I saw a picture. They were shaking hands.
Yeah. And the world didn't end. Nothing, major happened despite all the hysteria that the MSM is hyping up. V.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe it. I think liberal tears began to flow as Trump and Putin were shaking hands. Man, it was a
I tell you what, they're showing all the pictures of like all these rioters and protesters, and I was watching some video, V, and it looks like these people were looking like for a reason to come out and have a rave party.
That's all it is, dude.
Which is what it looks like to me.
That's all it
Everybody's
is.
walking around drinking beer, having a beer, and it's like, yeah, we'll go have a big, block party and cause some trouble. You know what I'm saying? That they
Yeah.
probably the deep state probably provided the free beer and alcohol for them.
Yeah, it was a Soros funded. It was a Soros organization that provided all the beer, the alcohol, as well as the Molotov cocktails that they needed in order to get this party going, without a doubt.
Well, V, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but when Trump leaned over and he shook hands with Putin, did you see him slip the nuclear launch codes to inside Putin's pocket? Did you see that happen?
Dude, you're right. Good observation. I missed that, CJ. Tell me, what was it? That little white piece of paper?
Well, I'm going to call CNN and I'm going to break the story there for them.
Good. Good. Make sure you do that. Excuse me. Oh my God, man. I mean, it's funny, bro. It's very funny, and liberal tears should be absolutely flowing right now. Oh
Well, there was a
man.
concentrated effort, yesterday by, MSNBC, CNN, all the major networks, to try to scramble to put something together, prior to this meeting, just trying to create this fake narrative that, yeah, something's going to happen. Trump is, they're definitely meeting in secret. They're having these discussions. And what's funny about this, V, is that every time they do it,
Yeah.
reliable sources, it's always that, and we have multiple anonymous sources that there potentially could be another document coming out. I mean, this
They potentially could be another document that is coming out. We have anonymous sources just in breaking news to CNN, and they don't quit, bro. I mean, we talked about this yesterday with Cuss with Gus. These idiots just don't quit. They don't learn, and I love it. I love it. I want more, CJ. I want them to do more. I want more liberal tears. In fact, I'm not drinking Sumatran dark roast this morning. I'm drinking liberal tears, and it's delicious. Not liberal tears. Let me not say liberal tears, because the real little liberals are really upset about what the hell's going on. I'm
mhm.
drinking leftist tears. This is the tears of the leftists, and I'm enjoying it, CJ. It's wonderful.
Well, they do have a little different talking point now, V.
Oh,
And
what is it now?
well, this is something that you and I have talked about this, and that's the narrative that they keep pushing. So yesterday, CNN has James. What do you call him? James the
Oh, the
Clapper.
clap. Yeah. Oh God.
So they had James Clapper out, and he is basically stating that Russians' goal is to quote unquote prep the battlefield for the 2018 elections. So, like we stated numerous times, that's why they keep pushing this narrative, because they see the writings on the wall. They are very upset that they lost the off-cycle, elections in Kansas and Georgia. So
Right.
now they're prepping for 18 because, under the failed leadership of Nancy Pelosi, it's going to continue to be a bloodbath for the Democratic Party. They will continue to lose seats, V.
Oh my God, they're not going to stop. I mean, look at Clapp. Okay, the Clapp looks like he's been battling the Clapp for his entire lifetime. The Clapp, James the Clapp Clapper, it looks like an individual that if you look at him, you will contract the Clapp. And this guy who's severely brain damaged, who looks like an individual who spent the majority of his time in Vietnam inhaling CJ, Agent Orange itself. This man is out there telling and leaking pretty much. He's leaking the Democratic strategy for 2018. And that Democratic strategy, CJ, you spelled it out perfectly. That the Russians did it all. They are prepping. They are prepping to take the 2018 elections. Okay. So this is the narrative, the whole Russia narrative that these idiots do not realize is a narrative that nobody in the United States believes. Nobody believes them. Nobody takes them seriously. So here we are. And yet they're still prepping it. So they're guaranteeing evisceration. And CJ, this is exactly what we've been talking about since October of 2016. These idiots, that the worst thing they can do is to double down. And that is exactly what they're doing, man.
Bingo.
Hats off to you, crazy leftists.
Yeah, it was interesting. They actually showed the picture, where they put all the G20, leaders together, and they get together for a group picture. And they're lining everyone up, and I guess apparently tradition is that the longest serving leader gets like in the middle, and so Merkel was there, and then it just kind of cascades out. Well, apparently Macron was like in the upper back row to the right, wherever he was, and he was like so sure or show more value to himself, so he scoots through everyone else and gets down there and get next to Donald Trump. Just scoots his way into the picture, but apparently it's being reported that and again, I'm hearing these mixed messages about Macron and what he's really attempting to do, but apparently he's really asking Trump. I guess there's some big annual festival, whatever it is, that happens in France every year. I thought they partied all summer long over there. So needless to say, I guess Trump has committed to going over there for a visit. So let's see what that brings about. Perhaps France is waking up and Macron understands that, listen, the EU, the global agenda, the globalist agenda is fading quickly.
Macron did a topsy-turvy for me as well, because he's been a shark since he's gotten elected. I'm not going to front. Okay, he's been a shark, and granted, he's married to somebody who could very much well be his grandmother, but he's been an absolute shark. He's quickly and savagely, and in the nice way, I mean savagely in the nice way, consolidated power. When I say consolidated power, I'm talking about taking it away from the labor unions. Because one of the things that's economically killing France, CJ, is the labor unions. They're hurting any sort of economic growth. He is doing things to open up France for business. He understands that this migrant crisis is a serious problem, and I think they're going to move ahead to do something about that. They prevented. He savagely, his right hand man was the man who was behind the tearing down of the Calais refugee camp and preventing it from being rebuilt. So, and his right-hand man is also somebody who is savagely against migrants. So, this is going to be interesting. Okay, this is a real twist of the blade here. Is Macron biting the hand that feeds him? Is Macron following the orders of some factions, which I know of, some factions of, believe it or not, the Rothschild family that do not want to go along with this sick and twisted globalist agenda for many years? And I know that's going to be pretty hard to stomach for most people. Most people are going to be reacting to what I just said. Like, what the hell are you talking about, man? All the Rothschilds are evil. Yes, granted. But there are some that are more, quote unquote, Fabian socialist than the others. And in their regard, they just want to go very slowly into their world order. And they realize that they've lost control. And they realize what I've been telling and what I've been saying for quite some time, that the best thing for these globalists to do, CJ, is for them to quietly disappear and maybe in 50 years come back. But what has been happening with their deep state and with the current establishment and the younger generation of these globalists, I'm talking about those in their 40s to, not 40s, but their 50s to 60s to 70s, these these underlings, so to speak, is they are hastening, especially the Anglo-American arm, they are hastening and trying their darndest to quickly have a world order set up, even though that is a dying light far off in the horizon, never to appear. They're trying to force something that just simply cannot be done. And that is the thing here. That is the thing. So it is interesting that this Rothschild banker, which is Macron, he is quickly changing his tune. Maybe they sense survival, is what I'm thinking, CJ. Maybe they're tasting mortality.
You're exactly right. That'll put the truth in them real quickly, V.
Absolutely, man. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new world. And people don't realize there's been 3 Rothschilds that have been killed already. One of them was hung in Iran. Okay, one of them was hung in Iran, and Russian and Iranian forces had something to do with that. Okay, so that tells you something. Anyway, the next thing, 22 banks sign up for the blockchain test, bro. And these are the 22 banks that are joining Swift's cross-border blockchain trial, man. That's exciting. Swift months ago.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
No. Go for it. I was just going to say that great for the blockchain technology, the developers, and banks understand how blockchain can change a lot of things. But just also keep in mind that in terms of the cryptocurrencies and the way that they can be exchanged and everything, is that again there's really no need to utilize the Swift system necessarily unless you're doing paperback fiat currency to another country or so forth. But yeah, so this is great for the technology aspect.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic, man. I love it. And it shows you the greater adaptation of the blockchain technology. I love it. And one of the things that Swift says is that it's so powerful for them to use a medium like this because it prevents fraud. It opens up for honesty, better record keeping. You got to understand, folks, blockchain is something that the banksters hate because it is the ultimate trust and accountability machine. They hate it. They cannot have it. They don't want it. And that's why they're resistant to it. Anyway, moving on, Siege. We got the jobs report in, bro. What's the deal?
Yeah, with the jobs report. So again, we're looking at just some mixed information, and Zero Hedge does a great job of pointing out one key aspect is that with the Fed on autopilot, with what they're doing right now to influence the market, that the June payroll numbers in the jobs report is almost irrelevant. Whatever numbers they are, I mean, let's face it. I mean, these governments, the government can put out these statistics they want, us to reel them. But if you take a look at the hard numbers, as far as the GDP, so forth, and what I see out there right now is I see basically still, because of Obamacare, basically a part-time economy. So there are a lot of jobs out there. I see help wanted signs all over the place driving around, but there's not a whole lot of people that are looking for 20 to 25 hour a week jobs, part-time, working nights and weekends, for little or nothing pay. They're looking for those full-time jobs that right now companies aren't hiring that massively. We know that for a fact that they count 2 part-time jobs as 2 jobs to the employment rate. So it's a mixed bag of numbers right now. I think ADP kind of breaks it down, because I think ADP probably has a real-time reporting, just the amount of massive companies that they report payroll for. So again, initial jobless claim numbers, unemployment, we saw some lift in that. They're projecting that they're expecting wages to increase. All these numbers that apparently potentially signaling that the economy, could be jump started. But again, having faith in the numbers, that's a complete, different story. V, did I lose you?
No, I was muted.
Oh no.
Apologize.
What? You were muted.
I was
That's
muted.
me, V. I'm supposed to do that.
I've been hanging around with you too much, man. That's what's going on. But I think when you look at the June jobs report is pretty interesting, because look, the unemployment rate is not 4.3% steady. If it's 4.3% steady, then we again have a serious problem, because again, the numbers and the metrics are so screwed up. Nobody really knows what the hell's really happening. Like what you said, it's ADP has an idea, but when they count non-farm payrolls, what type of service sector jobs are growing? It is a service sector that's growing. That's the industry, that's the sector that's growing. It's the service side of it, things. Manufacturing is really not growing as of yet. Okay, so there are problematic issues that are occurring all over. Number one. Number two, any major firm, and every major firm that tracks joblessness, okay, that tracks the real unemployment rate. Look, you cannot have a 4.3% unemployment rate and you have over 95 million Americans that are permanently out of work. That's almost a third of the population. You have another 101 million Americans on some sort of welfare or subsidy, okay? And granted, there is overlap. You have about 47 million on food stamps. And again, granted, between those three numbers that I just gave you, there is overlap, okay? And unemployment does not count you if you're underemployed or you've been unemployed for over 3 months. So these statistics are still terrible, okay? That's why we always look at how many Americans are still out of work. And you got damn near 100 million Americans. 100 million Americans damn near out of work. You're talking about 52% of the country. Okay, when you take all the metrics between welfare, between underemployed, unemployed, as well as permanently unemployed, and welfare and all that, you put that all together, you have basically 52% of the country is still effectively non-productive. You cannot build a vibrant economy based on that. This is why what Donald Trump is trying to do is get the manufacturing base back in. You need to build a manufacturing base. It has to be done before we can gut this financial system. If we don't and utilize some of the bubbles in Wall Street, because people are like, oh, well, it's a bubble in Wall Street. Hell yeah, nobody's arguing that. Nobody's arguing that. But let's be pragmatic about it. Let's not be dogmatic about it. There's a bubble in Wall Street, so F Wall Street. There's a bubble in the economy, so F the economy. And we're just going to sit here. Okay, well, good job. Good job. There's a bubble. Good job. You've identified bubbles. Good job. Yes, the Fed blows bubbles. Yes, Wall Street manipulates bubbles. Okay, yes, we know that. Good job. But instead, okay, let's use the bubble effect, the wealth effect, and instead of creating more and more fictitious paper-pushing entities that are in Wall Street and creating more, let's create industry. Let's use some of that bubble to actually build. Let's use that bubble effect to actually give rise to real manufacturing, not tech companies, not another, a .com coming up. No. How about a manufacturing plant that makes, I don't know, really good high-end belts? I mean, I miss a good leather belt. Okay, I mean, how about some really good quality, bring back, more American manufacturing and more boots or something like that, or more computer hardware. Like, for instance, man, I love the fact that my beautiful, and CJ, I've said this to you before, my absolutely beautiful.
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
You know where I'm going with this, bro.
I know where you're going, bro.
You know where I'm going with this. My absolutely beautiful, seductive Alienware R4 17.3 inch gaming laptop. This beautiful bevy of a technological powerhouse, which is more powerful than any friggin' Apple computer. This beautiful quad-core Core i7 7700i with a 3.9 gigahertz overclocked, 32 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti graphics card, 1 TB hard drive with a 256 SSD. This beautiful monster was hand assembled in the United States. And the beautiful thing about my gorgeous laptop, CJ, besides all the cool flashing lights it has, it's aluminum and carbon fiber and magnesium, the whole friggin' thing. Dude, we make awesome products. Okay, this is what we need to start bringing back manufacturing here. I mean, this laptop is better built than my MacBook, which is made in China. Okay, all my Apple products I'm sitting here talking to you guys on is made in China. This Alienware kicks ass, kicks ass. This is the kind of stuff we do. When we make something, it's literally the best in the world. It's literally one of the best in the world. I mean, I love German cars, right? I love the way they feel, the way they handle. But as you know, technology progresses and regulations and emissions and all these other things, the fun is leaving German cars. They're becoming more sterile to the point that Audi, Mercedes, and BMW are pretty much making the same car at this point. You know who's making the most exciting sports sedans now? Cadillac. Cadillac. Cadillac.
Yeah.
If anybody's cross shopping a BMW, I dare you. Go cross shop a Cadillac. Just drive it. Just drive and feel the steering wheel. Go take it around a corner really hard. And you will be shocked. It will make you reminisce of the BMWs of old. I swear to you. I swear to you. This is Cadillac, man. I mean, look at what GM is doing. Look at the freaking Corvette. That's a world beater supercar. It's a world beater supercar for a fraction of the cost of what you get from the Europeans. We make amazing stuff. This is what we need to do because when Americans make something, like when I go out to get power tools, I'm getting like Snap-on. I'm getting American-made tools. I don't get any of the Chinese crap. Why? Because it's built to last. I got a pair of Wolverine 1,000-mile boots. Best investment I ever made. It'll probably cost you anywhere between $240 to $300, depending on what style you get, guys. But you get that boot, it is the only boot you'll need for the entire life of your existence. You can always resole it. It is high-quality Chromexo leather. I mean, it's incredible. This is the kind of stuff we make. You don't see this type of craftsmanship and this culture and history of craftsmanship that we have that many countries in the world are lacking. So we could do this. This is what we need, guys. Anyway, man, our political parties are obsolete, CJ. We all know this. Yeah. Break it down, brother.
Yeah, this is a great article, by our friend Charles Hugh Smith over at of Two Minds, and he beautifully articulates and puts in words things that I would have said or wanting to say in regards to the fact that the 2016 elections were so disruptive, to both parties. And I know that there's that huge paradigm regarding, that it's an illusion of choice. And I support, that theory as well, because, as Charles perfectly puts, in his articles, basically what's happening is the quote unquote, the power elite speaks from one voice through two mouths. One establishment Democratic and the other establishment Republican. And right. Charles goes on to state in this article that he believes with everything becoming so decentralized, same theory can be applied to the Republican and the Democratic parties. And I completely agree. Now, people may have a little bit of difficulty, understanding, everyone can see the Democratic Party implosion that's happening. It's pretty obvious. However, when you take a look at the same thing on the Republican side, you take a look at the deep divide that is truly there. You have one portion of the Republican Party that doesn't want big government. You have the Rand Pauls, the staunch conservatives or libertarians. But on the other token of it, you have the Lindsey Grahams, the John McCains that have this globalist agenda, that have this big government. They say they want limited government, but they have no problem voting for big government. Yeah. So you're really seeing a unique opportunity for more people to understand it. And I don't, maybe we need to have a show dedicated to it, but I think people need to wake up that it's times are changing. This whole paradigm regarding, left and right, conservative, Republican, it's such a false and outdated narrative. I mean, everything else has changed with technology and everything else, but our political system has not. It's outdated and it needs change, V.
Yeah.
And Charles beautifully puts it together.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with you, man. I think it definitely needs to change. It is a whole new world. It's a whole new reality. And I think a majority of Americans are starting to realize that the Republicrats and the Democrats are two wings on the same dragon. Absolutely. And with that being said, Siege, we're at the end of the broadcast, sir. I don't know what we have lined up for today. But with that,
We'll make it something fun. We'll make it something fun.
We definitely will, man. We definitely will. Check us back here at 2 p.m., folks, and we will be doing our little broadcast. We don't know what we have planned, so it'll definitely be fun, no doubt at all. With that being said, we're over and out. We apologize for the late start today. That is all 1,000% yours truly's fault. Sometimes it just happens. It happens when you're burning the banana on both ends. All right. With that being said, we're over and out, folks. Take it away, CJ.